third grade teacher with 25 students in my class, 3 of which with individualized education programs. One of my students has attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, another student is learning disabled, and a third student is autistic. Today I'm going to discuss with you ways I arrange my classroom, where I sit these students in order for them to succeed, and different instructional strategies and accommodations I make for them to ensure their success. So I've drawn here a diagram of what my classroom looks like. Here we have where my desk is, where the whiteboard is for instruction, and the student work center in the corner. I've arranged my classroom with desks in rows of 4 to 5 because I think that group interaction is best for student learning, and the door is right here. Each one of these dots represents a student. The blue dot represents the attention deficit hyperactive student. I have placed the student here with preferential seating close to my desk so that I can both monitor his behavior and also reward him with positive reinforcement for positive behavior. I also have removed him furthest from the door and windows in order to decrease distractibility, and closest to the whiteboard in order to make sure that he is able to attain all the information that I provide to him. The green dot represents the learning disabled student. Similarly, I have placed him also close to the whiteboard in order to ensure that all the material is transmitted to him. Also, this black dot is the autistic student. This student is paired with 2 peer buddies on either side of him, 2 students who've been assigned to work with the autistic student in order to both provide opportunities for social interaction and be positive role models for appropriate social behavior, and in order to ensure the autistic student the least restrictive learning environment. As part of the universal design, this sort of group interaction is beneficial to each student, and each of my disabled students will have the opportunity to work in peer groups in order to receive the peer tutoring and assistance that they need. The green lines represent the flow of traffic, both when there are group interactions and I am monitoring classroom behavior, and also for when students need to either go to the student work center, student reading zone, or exit the door here. Okay, so now I'm going to discuss some instructional strategies and accommodations I'm going to make for my disabled students. One thing that will be to the benefit of each of my students, specifically to my disabled students, would be being highly organized and structured with my routine. One way I'm going to do this would be by having the day's agenda written out on the whiteboard every day, very specifically listing what we're going to be doing every day, starting from spelling to math problems to lunch. This is going to be particularly helpful for my autistic student who's going to feel more comfortable with routine and perform at his or her optimal level. Another thing is that I'm going to be delivering instructions, both written and orally, very concise and specific. I'm going to try to avoid using nonverbal cues so that my autistic student will know exactly what it is that I expect from my students. One way that I'm going to try to accommodate and incorporate some strategies into learning would be, for instance, with math and teaching the multiples of 9, I'd like to show my class a strategy for learning that goes beyond math drills. Most students without disabilities might not have any problem adhering to memory the multiples with repetition and drills, but for students who are learning disabled and have a hard time developing those concepts, or with ADHD and are not very prone to repetitious activities, this is a strategy for them. For instance, with the 9 multiples, I'm going to show this with an example. Using your fingers, you can find your answers for multiples 1 through 10 with your fingers. So, for instance, to find 9 times 6, you would put down your 6th finger, which would be from your left, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and to your right would be your tens place, to your left would be your ones place. So you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4 would be your answer for 54. This would be true 1 through 10. Watching my very brief summary of how I, as a teacher, would ensure the success of disabled students. Check you later!